How soon do you think you should sleep with someone? After how many dates? And we'll start with you, and then we'll get the rest of the panel.
Probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Or
You've never heard of
less.
3-date rule? Don't change your answer because of me.
But it depends on the
Okay.
guy, I think.
What do you mean it depends on the guy?
If I want to sleep with them.
So if he's a Chad, like if he's really attractive, you'll sleep with him sooner.
Ugh, I don't like the description of a Chad.
You don't like Chad?
No.
Chad?
Wait, it
Like the
also-
stereotypical Chad, what do you think of?
Isn't like the
Like just a really hot dude, like a really
No.
attractive guy.
No,
That's
that's
not
not
what
what.
I think,
Yeah.
Yeah, think of like them
No.
frat boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like
Like
your
a
typical
dick. Okay,
like
whatever.
annoying ass frat boy.
Whatever.
Sorry, R.I.P. to all the Chads.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
So
That's not-
so okay.
Okay,
4 to you think 4 to 5?
yeah.
If they're really,
But-
let me ask.
4 to 5. Oh.
If they're really attractive, do you sleep with them sooner?
It's like, what if I might want to take it slow with them. If I want it to be like a serious thing, then I might wait. You know?
It just depends.
Yeah.
it
It
depends.
Have-
It really,
How long
yeah, it
you've
just
known
depends
him.
on what
How
you're
is that
looking
like?
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it depends
Or what if
on the guy.
it depends.
Circumstance.
So-
yeah.
But have you ever had a one-night stand or slept with a guy the same night you met him?
Yeah.
Okay. But isn't that a
But-
bit contradictory to what you just said though? If
No.
they wanna
But
sleep
no,
with
because you were
on-
talking about
It
dates. Like if a guy's taking her
Yeah.
on a date, like
That's why
that
okay,
was.
if I sleep with him on the first guy, I probably like don't actually like him. Does this make sense?
Yeah. This makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like it's just so overcomplicated nowadays.
Wait, hold on. Can you just repeat that? If you really like him, you want to wait?
Like if I
What,
want,
repeat what you just said.
I don't know what I just said.
Oh,
If I want to like actually like date him, then I would want to wait. I think.
Versus
Your other
Versus
If you-
if maybe it's just like a buddy and I just want to like
yeah. There's
do
Yeah.
that with him.
okay.
We
Also
said
like a
frat,
first
not
date.
fat boys.
also like a first date. You kind of like
What?
figuring out whether or
Tilt your
not.
microphone down towards you.
Also, like on a first date, you're just like.
Tilt it. More. There you go. Go ahead.
On a first date, you're kind of like figuring out whether it's gonna be something serious or like if it's not, and you're just gonna fuck him and then either not talk to him again or just have a fuck buddy or continue a serious relationship.
Okay.
It really depends.
Okay.
I think it's so
for me.
overcomplicated nowadays.
Yeah.
I feel like you should just be honest and put out the energy that you want. You know, I feel like you should just tell people like, look, this is all I'm looking for. This is that, and just be real about that execution. But I feel like at the same time, like, you know, if we're talking about dates, like how well is that sexual chemistry? You know, like how well is this date going? Because I mean, that might encourage me to want to sleep with somebody sooner.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, as women too, we kind of get judged a little bit. It's a little bit of a harsh scenario, like, oh, if we sleep with them right away, then there's no mystery, there's no whatever, there's no
Yeah.
alluring sensation, he already got what he wanted, so he's gonna move on, you know. And I feel like I don't know, I don't feel like that's always fair necessarily, because I feel like men can have that experience and not, you know, have that same backlash. And I don't know, I feel like if you're really feeling it, whatever, I mean, you know, why not continue it? Why not see where that goes? If it doesn't happen. But I feel like
Wait, clarify. What did you mean by the backlash?
I feel like there's, like you kind of mentioned like this 3-date rule, and I feel like a lot of women kind of, when they want to pursue something like a relationship or they want to pursue like a certain individual, you know, they are kind of abiding by this, you know, this rule of like, okay, I can't sleep with him right away because if I do, then he won't be interested, or, you know, he won't, you know, find me exquisite in this way. And I don't think I jive with that energy or that, you know, narrative anymore, because it's just not reality a lot of the times,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the 3-date rule is more so if it's more than 3 dates, for most men, you might want to move on. At least it depends on the girl. Some
Mhm.
girls, it depends. But if a girl's already slept with 50 dudes, you want to make me wait 10 dates? Okay. Like, to me, that's a bad look. So
Can you go into that more? Like,
Yeah.
it's the
Like-
same. Okay, here's the example. So all of a sudden I've come along.
mhm.
I'm the guy that you want to have a relationship with. You want to make me wait, and that's totally your prerogative. Like
Mhm.
it's not like pressure thing or anything, but I'm going to feel a certain type of way about that if your body count is really high. Like if you've slept with 40 dudes and you gave it up on the first date, but now I have to be traditional with you. I'm going to look at that and be like, in the same way that I guess the flip side of that would be, imagine a boyfriend of yours, you guys don't really do anything. You guys just, you like each other, but he says, hey, let's hang out at my place. Let's stay in, eat some food, whatever. And then you find out that he was taking her on these extravagant, Jesus, tongue tied here, extravagant dates, paying for her to go on trips with you, buying her gifts.
That sounds more serious. That sounds definitely more like a relationship. And I feel like it's not that you're willing to settle for less, but that might just be, what you prefer. That might just be what's working for you. But I mean, I don't know, like, how would you approach it if a woman was like, I'd like to sleep with you now, but I'd also like to continue seeing you? Like, how would you respond to that?
So for me personally, I definitely know that some guys have this thought, oh, if she sleeps with me too soon, then she's not worthy of a relationship. I don't feel that way. If the girl is down for the first time we're hanging out, that's not gonna
just write her off.
That's not gonna preclude me from wanting to continue seeing her, because I think there's actually much better indicators of someone not being worthy of a relationship than the speed in which they're down to sleep with you. But for some men, definitely, like if you sleep with them too soon, they're probably going to put you in the hookup only category.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
But for me personally, at first night, second night,
I think that's fair. It's refreshing to hear, because I don't think I hear that enough. And I think it kind of goes both ways. You kind of mentioned that, women with higher body count, I feel like women take that in consideration too. Like on a first date, it'd be like, if that is a topic that comes up and, like, oh, I get around that, my first initial thought is like, I don't take you seriously then, and I feel like men probably, it's vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, well, definitely body count is important. I care about body count.
Why do you care about body count?
Yeah.
Why do I care about body count?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to remember all the other topics we had to talk about. Before I get into body count, let me read some soup chats and we'll get into body count. So we have Mike Davis with the $10 soup chat. Thank you, man. Appreciate the support. These females over 30 be using them dates as therapy sessions, and the therapist pays. The therapist pays. I'm going to hit them with an invoice in the AM. No refunds. By the way, Mike Davis, I have the BBC here for you. It's at the table whenever you're ready to be on the show. Like I said, we have the Guy Fawkes mask for you to wear to hide your identity. Anyways, hold on. But hey, yeah, that's always weird when you're on a date and it's like a therapy session and shit. That's crazy. Okay. Thank you, man. Let's see. We have Davon Jackson with the $10 soup chat. Also, Davon challenging Mike Davis for the BBC. I'll never understand why women will sleep with a guy they know is bad and they don't want to be with long term, but make the guy they actually see a future with wait and pay for dates. Logic fail. Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to before, is you give it up to the guy who is not deserving of it, and then the guy who's worthy of a long-term relationship, you're going to make him wait.
I think it's because we assume that if we do give it up too soon, they'll move on because they'll perceive us as being easy, or, there's no alluring value to that. And, I that's just my perception. That's my experience. I think a lot of people could probably agree to that.
No, so yes, definitely. There are men that will judge you if you sleep with them or other men too soon, I guess. But I think the issue is when there's not a consistency. If every guy you've been with, the rule is, I want to wait a couple dates.
Maybe I wasn't ready to be serious at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe I just wanted something high and dry. Maybe I wanted something that was just, I have physical needs. That person has physical needs. That was working. I wasn't interested in a relationship. I'm not, I can't speak for every woman, but I mean, if I'm in that mentality, I'm not thinking, like, I'm not trying to waste this man's time. I'm going to be very honest about it,
Sure. I mean, this is my personal philosophy. I know not everyone's going to subscribe to this, even men. But I don't think that you should sleep with someone unless you want to pursue something long term with them. That's my take.
I think that's very
Good.
refreshing. I think that's very nice, honestly. It's not a very common culture, nowadays like that.
Because for me, for example, if I sleep with a girl, I want to pursue it. Maybe it doesn't turn into anything, but if I sleep with her, I'm going to pursue it.
But
I'm
have
not,
you ever had one night stands?
Have I ever had a one night stand? I was in Amsterdam. I have, but like, so yes, to answer your question, yes. Of the women I have slept with, very low percentage of the women I've had sex with were like one and done. So if I sleep with a girl, I want to pursue it. And there's a few reasons there.
But
One,
has that always been like your objective? You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've always, every woman that you've met, you've always, I want to get to know her and date you.
So when you had the one night
I'll give you an
stands-
example. Let's say there's a girl who's a tourist, not a tourist like in the area. She's visiting, she's vacationing in Santa Barbara. Let's say she's down to fuck. I'm not interested. Like it's not worth my time because I'm a pretty busy individual. So it's not worth my time to like go on a date and like meet up with her to hook up just
I think
once.
that's interesting because you're such a busy individual. I feel like you wouldn't have time for a relationship,
Yeah.
I
If
feel like
anything.
you would.
Well, I want the consistency.
Okay.
So, and also, even if this is what always boggles my mind. Let's say sex is your pure motivation. The sex that you're going to have in a relationship or with one partner, from a purely physical standpoint, the sex is going to be way better
I agree. I
with
will agree to
someone
that.
that you have an emotional connection with, that you maybe love, that also just, again, purely physically, you know exactly what they like. They know exactly what you like. You have that built comfort.
Yeah.
And so, and then also you can't get to, you can't really like go deep into certain like kinks with like a one night stand. You're not going to like go crazy. I mean, I guess you could.
There are websites for that.
Yeah, you could.
You could, but you can't really like, listen, I want to wear my World War I uniform. That's just
Yeah,
going to be
you know?
weird on a one night stand. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I mean, I've always been interested in, I don't know, that just sleeping with a bunch of different women one time never appealed to me. I've always been interested in pursuing it. Sometimes it doesn't proceed.
Good
but
on you, honestly.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Is that always like an emotional relationship for you, or are you talking like it could just be like buddies, but like you guys are exclusive? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you
Like
mean.
just a sexual relationship. Obviously, you can still care about the person, but it's
you
like
just have no
strictly-
romantic
Yeah.
attachment to them. Yeah,
like
yeah,
it doesn't have to be a full emotionally committed relationship.
Ooh, that makes me think of a question for the girls.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility too, where I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I guess that's an option, but it's never like, for me anyways, to sleep with a woman just one time. If I sleep with a girl, I want to sleep with her, continue sleeping with
Okay.
her. So
But what if the sex is bad?
it's very hard for a woman to be bad in bed. Like you have to.
You think so?
You have to really, as a woman, to be bad in bed, you have to really fuck up. In my view.
Okay, what
And
is
what-
fucking
yeah,
up?
what-
Like, because I know like girls can be like, oh, if a guy doesn't do this right, like it's bad sex. But for a guy, what is bad sex from a girl? That makes sense.
What would
Yeah,
make
what
you
is-
not
what
want to
i-
have
what
sex
makes
with them
you-
again?
Like if
Yeah,
she just
yeah,
laid
yeah.
there and was like, have me, is that like a thing for you or not?
like
Is that a turn off, turn on?
If she did what?
If she just
Laid
laid there, like she's not putting any effort into it. She's just like, okay, have me.
Have me.
That'd be kind of hot, not gonna lie. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you know what you're doing in bed as a guy, you can have good sex.
That I think that's real.
Like,
Yeah.
if you know what you're doing,
no,
I think that's so
fully
real.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I can have good sex with a girl who's a virgin. Most women are going to look at a guy who's a virgin if they've had sexual experience and probably be like they're going to pause on that
Well,
one.
yeah, well, that's a slippery slope, I think, in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sorry, what was the initial question? I got sidetracked there.
I'm also also sidetracked.
I think it was
Is the
what would
is the
make-
sex bad? So okay,
No, I
yeah.
think the question was like,
what would make
It's
the
hard-
sex bad?
if she was like too dominant. I don't like women who are like really dominant in the bedroom. So that would make it bad. But I mean, I'd try to temper that early on. And I mean, if you're leading, it kind of in the same way with a dance. There's typically when you're dancing, someone's leading the
Are
dance.
you alluding to you just have to be in charge? Is that what this is?
Are you talking like dom sub
No,
dynamic?
not even just that. Just like you prefer to be the one who's initiating.
I prefer to, yes, I
Okay.
prefer to initiate. I prefer to be in the lead.
Okay.